right, everybody, what is up? Zexorus and my boy Balrog fan BP.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. We are here with you with some chair league action tonight, and in our first game, we've got Team versus someone we followed last week in Elusive Gaming. So we're already experienced with Elusive Gaming, and we saw how strong they can play. So this should be a pretty interesting game to watch. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, I can't wait to see what Elusive Gaming has in store for us this time, and if Team can put up a little bit of a better fight.
Uh huh.
And it looks like we'll be going into Infernal Shrines.
And that's a I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, it's always a competitive map. It's cool to watch, cool to cast. You see it a lot.
Yeah,
That's-
you do, and it brings out the best team fights. I think that and oddly enough, the Diablo maps at this point are like the best team fight maps. You get tons of action on both Infernal Shrines and Battlefield of Eternity. So I'm not. Nope.
Let
Apparently,
me
I have.
invite you back to your own lobby.
Yeah. Let me get on that, kicking the ref out, and I don't know. So this should prove to be entertaining. I remember I like Men and his impeccable variant gameplay.
Yeah, he had a very strong variant. I'll be interested to see if they bust him out or if are we going to be seeing Garrosh today?
I don't know if Garrosh is legal just yet. I do remember uh, the curious Abathur play that worked out for them,
Yeah.
where their Abathur didn't clone their Greymane, they cloned the Johanna repeatedly for that extra CC, which in retrospect worked out incredibly well.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was the way to go. It created a lot of opportunity because I believe they also had. Did they have Chromie?
I do, I do not remember. I don't
They had
remember.
somebody lobbing bombs. Maybe it was Li Ming or I can't remember off the top of my head either. But they definitely had some very strong synergy in their drafts. They showed that they're not one trick ponies. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited to cast for them again.
yeah, this is going to be a really exciting game. And this is the first time I've seen Team in action, so I'll enjoy that what they could potentially bring to the table. So they did have a good challenge in game 2 against Air Murden last week. So
Yeah.
we'll uh, we'll see how this turns out. We once again we're going to be on Infernal Shrines.
Yep. We're just waiting on one more, and it looks like they're all there. So we're going to go ahead and do a ready check.
Sounds good. I like it. Or, buddy, are you typing a novel?
I don't want to ask like the way Jimmy does it. He'll ask one question, everybody will say yes, then they'll ask again, and then they'll say yes, and then you know. I figured just frame it all in one question, and then they know to let us know when to call. Kind of done.
I can't really argue with that logic. You're a smart man, Charlie.
I did not know the way you were going to frame me. I didn't understand. I thought you were going to have like a more zoomed out version, so I'm trying to figure out where to. There we go.
Yeah,
All right.
You're perfect now. Get comfy, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't want you uncomfortable.
So quick bio from both teams, and then we'll be ready to go here. Yeah, I'm really interested if we'll see Garrosh or not. He's one of the strongest on-day release heroes in a while, I feel.
Yeah.
Although Stukov came out pretty strong too, and so did Genji. So maybe not. It's weird when a new tank enters the meta because it really changes things. There's nothing like that toss, so it makes for different synergies and plays. Like when we were messing around and we were tossing Tracer, he would toss Tracer or Li Ming into my Stukov silence pool, and then they couldn't get away, and then we'd all just gang up on them. Stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Garrosh. Okay, time for Charlie to take a nap. In Dota, there's a hero named Tiny, who can throw units, and that's a big part of his gameplay right there. And that's kind of how Garrosh feels. Oh, welcome back, buddy.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I heard Dota, and I just kind of. No, I just know nothing about Dota at all.
Right. Yeah.
It all just sounds like nonsense when you talk about it to me, but I'm sure it's apt and true.
Well, if you watch the Dota 2 newcomer stream, you'll learn a lot.
I can barely manage one MOBA, watching and playing one MOBA, and casting.
It's actually really informative. Like they have pop-ups constantly for like what items do and stuff like that, and like abilities. Like it's really the most brilliant thing. Like a couple years ago, 2 years ago, they had different casters entirely for the newcomer stream who would proceed to explain why stuff was so, why that was a good play, rather than just the constant hype. It was a highly analytical stream, and it was really fascinating.
Yeah, stuff like that's pretty helpful. They try to do it in the HGC as well. There's a lot of pop-ups and stuff. It's just harder for newer players to follow sometimes because Heroes, it doesn't really have a slower phase of the game that ramps up into the big game and give time for new observers to catch their breath. It just, if you're just going in blind and you don't know much about Heroes and you're watching it, the first couple of games just look like colors.
Yeah, no,
that's how everyone's described it to me, anyways.
Yeah, no, like I joke around and I call this the melee of MOBAs.
Yeah.
Because it's a completely different concept than your traditional MOBA, and it's a lot more faster paced than anything you'll play. So it looks like let's see, do I have my scoreboards right? Yes, I sure do. Team is gonna be on your left hand side, and Elusive Gaming is gonna be on your right side as we get ready to start this draft for...
I counted it down, so go ahead and start us up.
I can't. I didn't make the lobby.
Oh. Who made the lobby?
There we go. We are into Infernal Shrines. Let us bring over... Let me get that logo out the way. I've been messing around with that a lot. So, here we go. Infernal Shrines. Who you want to see banned, buddy?
I think if they plan on going with the variant again, like we saw, Elusive Gaming might want to consider someone that can really do, chunk HP. So Malthael is always a pretty good ban. I think that's who they targeted banned last time as well.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, they did ban the Malthael twice. And really, he's a solid ban. This is a team fight. This is a heavy team fight map, and you don't want someone jumping into the middle of you and just chunking down your HP pool.
Yeah, Malthael's still very strong. You might, no, it looks like we might see something else here as they hover the Dahaka.
I like this band. Dahaka is still top tier. His ability to just pop in anywhere. Oh, well, okay, almost anywhere. But for this map, it's anywhere.
Yeah, the global presence he provides and the strength he has fighting on the shrines, you don't want to give that away if you don't plan on taking him.
No, not at all. That is a very bad thing. And we see a Stukov band come out next. I respect that.
Auto lock with the variant.
They were so I now I can talk about it. They were kind of mad at me because we were talking about the variant. They're like, "Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Stop talking about our variant."
Oh, yeah.
And that's I can't really do anything about it once the cat's out of the
I mean,
bag.
I assume both people don't stream snipe though. That's the way I call it. I call like neither team is watching because it's kind of
Yeah,
crappy to like watch somebody else talk about our draft, that you're involved in.
it,
I feel.
well, personal opinions.
Right, right. That's just. I mean, if other people want to do it, I'm not going to say don't do it. It's just. It's a. One of the casters is very quiet. I don't know which one.
That's probably me. I have turned myself up because everything in my microphone went horribly wrong for the podcast on Tuesday. At twitch.tv/bluespro. Mr. Chooch!
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mute for a minute so you take over.
Okay, so next up we've got Gul'dan and Ariel, two really solid, I'll call them cores almost. Gul'dan's going to be able to put out a whole lot of damage in these team fights, and Ariel's just going to be able to keep them topped off with that, with her hope. And I mean, really, it's pretty meta.
Yeah, they are best buddies.
Yeah, it is a meta slave type deal going on right now. But right now we see Elusive Gaming thinking about their next picks, and pretty much you can the variant doesn't really tip your hand that hard. You can still go a lot of routes and have variant just in your face constantly.
Oh yeah, definitely. All you show really is that you either took a bruiser or a tank. That's all the information you get when you get first pick variant, and it's not, it's the hardest pick to read. So that's pretty good job on team just taking something they knew they wanted and they felt comfortable with in Gul'dan and Ariel.
Yeah. And then we see the follow up from Elusive in the Greymane and the Uther, and those are just, I mean, Uther's still the best healer in the game in my opinion, and Greymane is one of the best, damage dealers in the game. He's amazing at following up whatever variant goes for. The taunt ensures that he gets a lot of damage off, and Greymane also dissuades double tanking with the cursed bullets. So, I mean, two really solid picks here.
Yeah. Getting Greymane and Uther to fall in your lap, you're never upset with that.
No, not.
They're very strong, as you said. Though the band's going to be coming out here for a moment from Team. Let's see what they're going to take out of the equation, and that's going to be Alaric. Yeah, I don't hate that band.
That's the Alaric band is really nice. I like it. I like men doing a little bit of trolling in the chat.
Yeah. Trolling at its finest. So, who do you expect them to try and ban out here? Do you think we'll see that Malthael ban? Do you think we'll see a Genji?
We'll see a Diablo ban.
Oh, wow.
Because that's a really smart ban on this map. I mean, sure, you still leave the Johanna and other good control on the map, but Diablo just exudes crowd control in these situations and damage, and it's really, really hard to deal with a Diablo just suddenly running at you from a bush or something, and then you eating a whole bunch of damage. And especially late game with his shadow charge reset at 16 after he suplexes somebody. I mean, that's wall damage, suplex, and hello, enemy team. I'm suddenly surrounded by angry men and angels. Does Ariel count as a woman?
I don't know much about Diablo. Yeah, lore questions are directed to P Flame.
But that's not. You mean Ninebeard?
Possibly, but I bet Carl would know that. He knows a lot about Diablo.
Oh, does it? Oh.
Well, not as much as Nineball, obviously. But.
In the fall, we see a double healer comp come out of Team. We see Rhaegar and Johanna, and I like the Johanna pick. I mentioned her earlier. She has a lot. Knight takes pawn being baselined into her kit a couple patches ago. Makes her incredibly strong on these maps. she's going to be able to put in a lot of work, especially if Greymane and Varian get in there with the blinds, the stuns, the slows. They're going to have a hard time keeping that engage going.
And as far as tank, like a tank you could pick to go against Curse Bullet, it's probably the best one.
Yeah, if she gets off an Iron Skin before that Curse Bullet hits, it's pretty much a wasted bullet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you can't really trap her in the CC. You need to really take advantage of Curse Bullet. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am curious as to what team's last pick it's going to be, because right now, as I'm looking at it, they're incredibly strong on sustain, but they're really, really light on damage. So
Arthas and Abath are coming out from Elusive Gaming, and yeah, to your point, in this position, I'd like to see Kelthus or possibly a Bruiser.
I wouldn't. Sonya's still on the board. She would actually fit this comp almost perfectly, in my opinion. A Kael'thas would work out incredibly well, but there's also Vala on the board still.
Yeah.
So, or we could just see pure comedy and they drop a Raynor in our faces.
Raynor, I think Raynor's slept on a bit these days. I don't think he's quite as out of the meta. He's a direct counter to Malthael, that's for sure.
One of Ariel's traits gives somebody more attack speed, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, okay, in that line of thought, you just go Tychus.
Tychus just feels weak, especially to Uther. Uther really ruins Tychus's day.
Okay,
Sonya
so
is
they
gonna
go with the Bruiser route. So, okay, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, good call on the Sonya there, because she is one of the MVPs of Infernal Shrines. Her lane presence, her ability to clear shrines as well, it makes her have so much value on this map.
Yeah, for sure. This is a really good pickup. I mean, a lot of the time you'll see teams just leave a shrine and keep Sonya there while she solos a shrine. So we are headed into the game. Now we learn who has the potato, or that Fisher Price internet.
Guess the potato. Sometimes it's rare, but sometimes there's no potato.
My money's going to be on Kunkies, the Johanna.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bet right now.
So I actually do like both team comps here. This is.
We saw a similar build out of Elusive like this. We know they can make this work. Last time, I believe, they had the Johanna instead of the Arthas, but it was pretty much the same team.
I will put money down that they wanted that Johanna over the
More
Arthas,
than likely,
because that's what their Abathur went with last time. So
yeah.
All right.
It really helped Greymane.
So we are now into the game, and now we're going to introduce the teams. Balrog fan, if you could introduce team for us.
On the blue team, on Sonya, we have Snadjanahas. On Johanna, we have Kunkies. On Gul'dan, we have Duke of Psych. On Ariel, we have Narina. And on Rhaegar, we have Raichu.
And on the side of Elusive Gaming, we got Deadfax Dan on the Abathur, Aranor on the Varian, Skeptic on the Greymane, I Like Men on the Uther, and finally, Dragon Fury is going to be rocking the Arthas. So, looking at a party mid here real quick. Gul'dan rocking that King's Crown that Ariel gave him. Got a 2 off on his corruption right there. Not bad at all. A nice way to start. Let's see what skill he went. He went Pursuit of Flame at 1. So, not the biggest. It was bonus damage. He's looking to land them fell flames.
Yeah, and we're going to see a rotation out of team here. Looking to pick up Arthas. Arthas has a lot of armor, though, and he's able to get out of that.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
a lot of health, rather.
Chopped him down about 50%, though, so and you can't really complain about that. And we see team doing the rotation game already. A little passive out of Elusive Gaming at the moment. Let's take a look at this Varian versus Sonya matchup. Sonya going in for the for the spin to win right there, getting some damage off, but she's not going to really be able to get that much done against a Varian with a hat on his head. Kind of annoying to deal with.
Going up against the hat, and this is also a phase of the game where Abathur feels pretty impressive because we're going to watch her walk through on yet another mine. She hit 2 mines on the way down, walks into an Uther stun. It's just the kind of things that Abathur does early game that can be very disruptive for teams that like to rotate.
However, we've got a 4-man push coming through the bottom. A lot of damage. The bottom tower is drained of shots. Goes down. The top tower is going down as well. A nice little push right there out of Team to kind of counter that passiveness that we're seeing out of Elusive Gaming.
It's always good to open up those walls because later on, if you get a Infernal down there, you don't have to worry about it being baited over the wall.
Yeah, we see the 4-man rotation come up from Team. They're gonna go in and take the shrine, and I almost want to think that Elusive Gaming is just going to give this up. They can't really contest this. Nobody's really in position. We are going to see Arthas and Greymane take the siege camp on the bottom. Pretty smart idea as we see Johanna rotate into the mid to get some additional push going, but that'll end up getting stuffed by the siege camp right there.
Yeah, she also wants to make sure that they don't fall behind on experience while they are taking this Infernal. They know they're at a disadvantage with Abathur, so what they're trying to do is just really take control of the lanes.
Yeah. And we see Sonya still in there soloing that lane, while a nice detainment strike onto the Varian against the wall right there. And they're still just trying to push out that mid fort right there, or that mid siege camp is definitely going to get a lot of value, and Rhaegar comes up to deep push that.
Yeah, Rhaegar almost had to go and do that. This is one of those Infernals. It's tough to get much going off of it just because of the nature of the early game of this map. It's pretty easy to bait over the wall and take care of behind your fort, which you're going to see them do. Looks like Team's going to try to posture, but I think they're just going to settle for the walls and the towers and be fine with that.
Yeah. So they might go for more. This Punisher is still pretty healthy, and that's an awful lot of damage onto that Varian.
Oh, yeah.
The shield wall almost going to go down. Poison damage could get him. A hat in from Abathur saves his life. Nice response from the Abathur. But in response, it looks like that Team is going to get this first fort of the game.
Yeah, very solid Punisher for Team. That's exactly what they wanted. You are lucky if you get a wall most of the time on your first Punisher, if the other team responds properly. And they actually did. That Punisher just got a good stun off at a bad time for him. So
yeah. We see the mine work to keep away any extra creeps coming in as Arthas solo to the bottom, but a rotation. This is going to be a heavy rotation coming out from Team. The Condemn into the Punish, and it looks like, the Detainment Strike barely misses. Abathur kind of dicey, but he actually does get away. And a nice demount onto 3 from the Greymane. I like that.
yeah, it's always good when you can disrupt the opponent's movements. Arthas is he's such a bully. Like, you can do that full rotation like you just saw, and he still kind of walks away most of the time. He's been baiting him in and out, and they haven't been able to really catch him in a killable position.
Is that his Zerg skin?
Arthas?
Yes.
No, that's his Crown Prince Arthas skin. It's actually one of my favorite variants, where he's got the brown hair and the bone cape. It's very cool, and the bone Frostmourne as well.
Yeah, that is actually a very cool skin. I always appreciate good cosmetics, and that was 50% of health taken off of Greymane just now, and now a rather fortuitous shrine on the side of Team right there.
And look at the rotations by Team. They immediately noticed where the shrine was going to spawn, and rather than rush to it, they went and took control of the camps on the map, and it looks like they're going to move up and try to push out mid while they deal with that.
And that's actually a really smart idea. And we see an invasion come in from team right there. They're just going to say, hey, your camp is now our camp. You guys can deal with it. Uther losing about 30% of his health right there. This is really, really good rotation on the part of team. And now they've got both siege shrines going, and they're like, hey, guess what? Now we're going to take the shrine. Have fun dealing with this mess.
This Gul'dan is doing work. His damage is off the charts for 6 minutes in, and you can really see his presence in these team fights, forcing the other side to just have to retreat because they can't take the Fel Flames, and Ariel's always there to battery him.
Yeah, this is incredible work. We see him sitting at almost 17,000 hero damage. That's 8,000 more than the next closest hero at the moment, and you can't ask for more than that out of your Gul'dan. We see the double Arthas coming out, and I don't know if this is going to work out. Greymane goes in, Aegis onto herself. They are
the Ancestral on Ariel was clutch.
That was very, very clutch right now. But in the meantime, this is not really working out for Elusive Gaming the way they were hoping. We see one down. Another one's going to go down. Johanna's just going to... barely misses. Rhaegar says, you're not my king.
No!
Oh, it's just so much damage coming out on the side of team. This is a Arcane Punisher, too. This is the hardest one to fight into. This is looking kind of ugly for Elusive Gaming right now.
Yeah, you don't want your escape path to contain a bunch of trip lasers from the strongest Punisher on the map. That's pretty disruptive, and it almost got Arthas killed there.
Oh, that's a lot of damage onto that Greymane. That hurt him an awful lot. The combo.
And they didn't get him over the wall either.
They'll get front walled, and then they'll probably end up backing off. But we see Sonya just doing the right thing in the mid lane, and she's just pushing.
I don't know that they're going to back off. Okay, here we go. Gul'dan just does so much damage. They just took the tower for free so quickly.
Yeah, that was an incredible second Punisher for team right there. I am thoroughly impressed with their gameplay at this point. And we saw Elusive Gaming perform incredibly strong as well last week. So
yeah, we know Elusive's no slouch. Yeah. No, I mean. I just don't think they're ready for this Gul'dan. I don't expect this Gul'dan to make it through the drafts next game. I think we'll definitely see a respect ban because this is just so much damage. They can't contend with it.
I do feel like the Abathur does need to start cloning Greymane at this point.
Yeah, they're going to need the damage to try and get on the right targets. The problem is with the double heal comp, you have so much trouble choosing which targets are the right targets, especially when one of the ultimates is ancestral healing. It can be maddening. You saw how it turned the whole fight around for.
See a rotation on Sonya. She's pretty much dead at this point. We see the Spirit come out. Greymane is going to end up going onto her. She's still alive. How? A 4-man rotation only leads to 80% of her life.
Spin to win. Those heals are big.
By all rights, that Sonya should have died, but that spin to win just saved her life.
Yeah, the Sonya has built heavily into healing with a life funnel at level 13, so that was probably what saved her.
Yeah, she has definitely been building into the what's the word I'm looking for? The whirlwind build. We see Sonya's going to tap that shrine and get this next shrine phase started underway, but we might be seeing some action in the mid lane. The team doing a good job of actually cutting off Elusive Gaming right there.
Yeah, meanwhile, Sonya's just putting in work on the shrine up top. She's already got 14 down, and Greymane's just trying desperately to get up there and put some harass on her so she can't just take free minions.
But this is a really sketchy time for Elusive to try to go in and fight. They don't even have 13s yet. They're down a talent tier, and team has level 15, and this is just going to be an awful lot of damage. They're looking for double crowd control through the Arthas. This is a lot of damage. We see the Divine Shield on the Varian, not paying off as well as they'd hoped. Spin to win on to 3 right now. There's a lot of damage. Gul'dan gets saved by the Ancestral right there.
Ooh,
Arthas
the
goes
seismic
down.
slam deleting Arthas, and then the whirlwind cleaning up Greymane.
That was incredible healing out of both Ariel and Rhaegar right there. That Ancestral was so clutch to get the save onto Gul'dan as he was doing a drain life. That was just such good timing, and this is definitely going to lead to a keep. I don't think they can stop this push right now.
No, especially being down a full talent tier and 3 levels. Team's on autopilot here. They're just going to take what they want and probably close out the game fairly shortly, barring some pretty amazing heroics from Elusive Gaming.
Yeah, and we see them retreating back to the shrine. They're going to probably finish that off. They could probably finish the game. All their heroics will be off cooldown by the time the Punisher reaches that core, and they do have a wide enough lead at this point that they could probably finish the game off.
Yeah, Elusive Gaming is just trying to stop the bleeding by cleaning up minion waves and getting some experience here. But now they have to deal with a Punisher, and it's like you said, they're going to walk with it, Willie.
Yeah, this is a lot of trouble right now. They're down a talent tier, and really, I don't know how you defend against this.
No, I mean you're at least lucky that it's the fire one, but at the same time,
it's still a Punisher. It's still gonna eat those shots.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice condemn from Kunkies right there on pops the Iron Skin. Aeronor already dead. Varian goes down. Crystal Aegis used on the Rhaegar right there. Divine Shield onto the Greymane. Punisher takes another leap, jams it down onto Uther. Uther is now dead. Dead Fox Dan has to run his clone back into the fountain. That's something you never want to do with the Greymane. We see the shield core going down. 42, 39, 47, 72, 26, and that's the game. Down to 0.
GG. Duke of Psych, I see you. That Gul'dan was incredible.
That was an absolutely that was a dominant showing out of that Gul'dan. They had no answer at the moment. That was just something else. Yeah,
that Gul'dan really knew his stuff, so it's going to be interesting to see how Elusive Gaming responds in Game 2. I do expect a respect ban on either the Ariel or the Gul'dan because they both played very, very well. I think you could probably take Ariel away from the other team and feel better about that ban.
Yeah, for sure. Because those fights were coming in really close post level 10 at first, and then you just saw that the Ariel and the Rhaegar there was no way that they could keep up with that amount of healing.
Yeah, I don't. And someone in chat points out a good thing. I mean, someone in chat makes a very good point. That Gul'dan was kind of a direct counter to that Varian pick, and it showed the entire match. I mean, he was just shredding Varian's health pool every time the fight started.
Yeah, he really did. He couldn't. I mean, yeah, you can shield wall that initial damage, but that poison damage is still there after the shield wall expires. You can only delay the inevitable for so long, and that's why Gul'dan killed Varian, everybody.
So are you setting up the next lobby?
I am waiting to see what they are doing. I assume that Team will be setting the lobby up again as they did the first time. That was surprising. I was legitimately surprised at Team right there. That was, you don't see someone, I don't want to call it a steamroll, but Team didn't really look on a defensive posture that whole game.
No, they were in control from the time they took down that first wall very early on. You never know what you're going to get in Chair League, really. I mean, it's the ranges of players' skill levels are so varied, and you can get some really good matchups. I know Elusive Gaming is a strong team. We've seen it, so I think we're going to see them respond, and we might get our first third game to cast Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, indeed. I would love to see a third game go down for once, rather than all these 2-0s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool when it's exciting. I can't remember when we were in Chair League. Did they do best of 3 or did we just did one match?
It was best of ones back when we played in Chair League.
Yeah, I kind of wish we would have been best of 3s. That would have been a lot better.
No, it wasn't.
Although, yeah, some of those matches were starting at 12:30 at night.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but no, we didn't. Because then we would have been up till like 2 a.m. and I always have to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's annoying.
Mainly, I'm thinking of the Equinox game against that Team Log or whatever.
Bark. It was Team Bark.
Team Bark, that's right.
Ooh, we have a game going on to Braxis.
Braxis Holdout's always a fun map.
Yeah.
Usually the other map is Tomb of the Spider Queen. So, interesting.
At least it's not Warhead.
I actually think Warhead's pretty fun to cast.
Warhead is fun to cast, horrible to play on.
I don't mind Warhead as much these days. I'm kind of liking it. I like how you immediately get to respond with a push when you win a team fight. That's the aspect of that map I like the most.
Mm.
Like in a very real way. Like if if you've got 2 nukes or whatever, it's pretty good.
What if your opponent has 3 nukes, and both of you have boss pushing? I'm not going to get over it.
Freedom.
I'm bitter. I am bitter over that game. I am. Good question. I don't know who you target because there's so. They asked who should they target, the Ariel or the Gul'dan, and really there's no right answer for that. You target the Gul'dan, he gets Ancestral. If you get through that, he gets Aegis, and you've got other people you got Gul'dan shredding you.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that case, you want to try and just take out the tank. They probably should have doubled up on the Greymane and Curse Bullet and just went in on the Varian or the Arthas. You got to try and get rid of some of the disruption that's going on. I think Arthas probably would have been the best target because he's shown himself able to chunk, or he's shown himself vulnerable. Or not the Arthas, I'm sorry. The Arthas, and they were on the other team. Who was the Johanna? They should have probably focused out the Johanna.
That is, yeah. I don't disagree with that. The Johanna proved herself to be very, very adept at controlling the crowd and allowing Team to let that Gul'dan just get tons of damage off, and letting Ariel and Rhaegar just keep everybody topped off. So,
for sure, I got another loud train.
Mr. Chooch. That's gonna be one of our first emotes as a train. It's gonna be like Mr. Chooch.
I like it.
All right, we are headed into Braxis Holdout now. Team with 1 game over Elusive Gaming. We're going to go into the ban phase. You're good. Go ahead. So, this is a weird map where you could potentially see a Rexar ban.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think I don't know. Maybe if the other team, who chose this map, was that Elusive that got choice?
I believe it was.
So, yeah, maybe you do have to think about the Rhaegar. I don't know. You know, like there's so many so many viable first picks right now. It's hard to really just settle on one, you know? Because think about it. If they ban Stukov, Uther, Dahaka, um, uh, Nubarak, Malthael, there's just so many good first picks right now.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Which is what you like to. That's what you. Oh, respect ban.
Yeah,
I feel like that's definitely a respect ban right there.
No, and I felt that was going to happen for sure. I think it was the better target because the Gul'dan becomes a lot less effective without the Ariel, so you don't have to worry about still seeing a very strong Gul'dan.
Very true.
I want to see a Kel'Thus pick. That would be fun to watch. Living Bomb build. We actually got to see a Kel'Thus. Was that last week or the week before?
I think it was the week before. But
Yeah.
he put in a lot of work too.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. He had a whole lot of. He had convection done early, and you know if you have convection done before level 7, the other team's in for a really bad time.
Yes, they are. I believe they were on Infernal Shrines as well, so that's...
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing a Living Bomb build. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, Stukov, first pick. Can't really argue with it.
No, Stukov is in such a good place. I really enjoy playing him myself personally. I see the strengths he has. He has such a high skill ceiling, and we saw that these supports really are good at their Twitch reactions, so...
Yeah. So, let's see. They picked Stukov. How do I stuff a Stukov?
Well, Stukov is pretty vulnerable to anybody who can dive on him. He doesn't have a good means of escape for the most part. He's got to hope his team can do that for him. So if you take someone later on that's really good at diving, that'll be the counter to Stukov. But you don't want to show a dive hero in your first 2 picks generally. Not unless it's someone that's top tier meta and you know it doesn't matter what they think. Like if they took Genji right here, you know, cool. But you can't show an Illidan, in my opinion, you know.
Oh, and we see Elusive Gaming saying, hey, guess what? We're going to take the Gul'dan and the Varian. We're going to make these 2 mortal enemies work together, and they're going to like it.
Yeah, Gul'dan is just so good. He's just in a really good place right now. His damage is very strong, like we saw in the last game, so not a surprise that Elusive Gaming elects to try and get some of that mileage out of Gul'dan that Team got.
Yeah, and this, I wonder if they're going to have Aranor on the Varian again, or if it's going to go back to I Like Men.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting to not see him on Varian, because he seemed to be their Varian last time, but...
He did do the Colossus Smash Varian.
Yeah.
And I'm always a fan of not seeing someone take taunt.
Valera would solo out Stukov or Zeratul. Yeah, that's true. Most stealth heroes can solo out anybody who doesn't have a good means of escape. The problem is...
No, there's no problem with that. That's actually a brilliant idea.
I mean... You can get the support that way, right, but you give up a lot in taking a pick dedicated to hunting somebody. That's why I always feel weird about taking those characters in these highly competitive matches.
That's fair. We see Natalie Dormer and Falstead picked up on the side of Team. We Johanna being played last game by them to great effect, and she's gonna be really, really good here as well. And Elusive Gaming hovering that Kael'thas span.
Say it ain't so. Don't take the fun away.
Kael'thas wasn't fun at one point. Lest we ever forget the 45-second Phoenix. That was balanced.
Those were good times.
No, they weren't, because we never got to pick Kael'thas.
I miss burst meta.
I miss burst meta too, but let's be real.
Oh yeah, he was first pick, first ban material for a long time.
But I can't really fault them for banning that out, because if he goes convection and gets that quest done early, which he very could have done, then he's got incredible wave clear for Zerg rushes if things go south.
Yeah, no. they've shown that they like to take their time and think about what they're going to be banning, who they're going to be playing. Probably just discussing what they don't want to see paired with a Gul'dan and Varian. I'd imagine they're going to target a support. So, yep, there goes Morales.
You know what? We thought Ariel was disgusting, with paired with Gul'dan. Morales is much worse.
Yeah, it's just as bad. I think Ariel's actually worse because she's just a better healer in general with better abilities. But yeah, no, definitely to the same end, Gul'dan doesn't run out of mana and is free to do a lot of damage when paired with one of those two. So definitely a smart ban on the side of Team.
Yeah, and the mobility that Medevac would provide as well would be a huge problem on this map.
So do you think they try to go back to the Abathur well here? I kind of doubt it just because it's a two-main map. Yeah.
I don't feel like this is Abathur's best map. If they make it work, more power to them.
Yeah, but it'd be surprising.
But they battered back the Abathur pretty easily. Oh, okay. Okay.
Probius
I like
hype.
This.
So what do you take that works against Probius that also provides you some good damage? I wouldn't mind seeing a Ragnaros pick on the side of Team here. This is a good map for Ragnaros.
I feel like they should take a stealth.
You think Team should take a stealth for Probius?
I think they should, because it also gives them value against Gul'dan as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So we're going to see the Sonya pick, and they're going to think about that last pick, what they would be potentially pairing with Varian, Gul'dan, Dahaka, and Probius. Likely another damage dealer.
Zeratul would
or,
go...
Or likely a support.
This is fine.
They don't have a support yet. Probably Uther, I assume.
Yeah, they definitely need that healer. And Uther would work. Rhaegar wouldn't be awful here either.
Yeah. Yeah, Uther doesn't offer a lot to Gul'dan. Actually, probably the best healer left on the board that would offer the most to Gul'dan is probably Malfurion.
Okay.
Followed by Lili. Lili's not actually a terrible pick here, since they have three people who are going to be pretty reliant on their auto attacks and Falstad, Johanna, and Sonya, but we will see Rhaegar.
Yeah, because you can, if he talents into getting a lightning shield on himself whenever he gives it to an ally, that's going to provide some hefty wave clear for Zerg rushes.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps, and obviously the ancestral healing is a good tool to have for when you have double tanks. So,
all right, so here we go, going into the game on Brax's holdout. I really like Elusive gaming this draft here.
Yeah, their draft seems very, very strong. We're gonna have to see what Team was thinking here with this draft. Obviously, Chromie's gonna put out a lot of damage, but can they make that work with the Stukov and the Johanna and the Sonya? The Falstad also is a bit curious, but I would guess that Hinterland's or not Hinterland's Blast, Gust will help you get the time you need to clear the wave by pushing off anybody trying to push with a wave. So that'll probably be pretty helpful.
So I almost feel like this Chromie is a direct counter to the Gul'dan, because Gul'dan's not always at full health. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. Let's introduce our teams.
On the blue side, we have Team. On Sonya, we have Snagamane Hess. On Johanna, we have Kunkies. On Stukov, we have Raichu. On Falstad, we have the Duke of Psych. And on Chromie, we have Narina.
And on the side of Elusive Gaming, on the Probius, we have Dead Fox Dan. I like men on the Rhaegar. Aranor repeating his performance on the Varian, Dragon Fury on the Dahaka, and Skeptic on the Gul'dan. Press F to pay respects, everybody. Don't know what happened to my chat box. My chat box is bugged.
What do you mean?
It won't move around the screen anymore. It's stuck in one position.
Oh, weird.
Very weird.
Mine's good.
Two, one, and we're back underway. Yeah, after those healthy team introductions, we are going to have the Probius versus Sonya matchup in the top lane. A classic, if you ask me. Everybody knows the Sonya versus Probius matchup, except nobody does. I've never seen that matchup before.
Should be interesting. And then some 4v4 action on the bottom. Teams just kind of posturing, waiting for their minion wave so they can begin getting that experience.
Miss the condemn, but still takes a whole bunch of damage from the Chromie right there. Like I think Chromie's just gonna overperform this game right here. She's got so many targets that are gonna just get slammed every time. And I think if she goes time loop, that Gul'dan's going to have a very bad day.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. And my eyes are also on Falstad simply because that is Duke of Psych, and he played out of his mind last game. So be interested to see if he's as well versed on Falstad or she.
Fury getting a little low right there. Gul'dan going to have to be a little careful. Chromie taking the Bronze Talons at 2, so she's got really good right-click damage after a Sandblast.
Yeah, Bronze Talon's very, very good talent. It helps you maximize the time between her cooldowns and get that extra damage in.
Definitely. Raichu just going to work with that angry little arm of his.
You probably don't got to come up here and look at it, but Sonya's doing a good job of continually pushing this Proby back. The Proby's having a hard time keeping his structures up.
Oh, and just as I look at that, we miss Gul'dan going down. Probably ate a Dragon's Breath right there at the wrong time, but now this is going to be really, really... I like Men is in a lot of trouble.
Oh, that Falstad almost got the last bit of damage needed. Meanwhile, Dahaka rotated up on Sonya up top, came in off of the brush stalk and took her down. Probius and Dahaka have taken control of the top beacon.
And now it's going to be really, really hard for that Sonya to get back into lane with Probius having pylon control right there. And
yeah, that's the thing about that. She was doing such a good job of keeping him off, but once he gets it, it's tough to deal with.
Very much so. So
looks like they're just going to settle for having control of the bottom shrine right now and get some soaking done.
And Sonya coming back in just in time to have a little bit of experience. This is going to be really hard for Sonya. I don't like the Haka matchup as a Sonya. It's really, really hard to keep your damage up. But
yeah, I mean, this Sonya has done a good job of maximizing the damage she gets out of Seismic Slam, but Dahaka is just so tanky. It can be very difficult to keep pace with him. We're seeing a lot of trading back and forth here, though. Meanwhile, they've taken control of the bottom beacon on the side of Elusive Gaming, so they're now in a position to start getting some ticks of...
Oh, and Sonya gets the kill. I was following that. I was wondering which way that was going to come around, and Sonya gets the spear and Seismic Slam after the missed drag from Dahaka.
Seismic Slam does so much damage.
Ooh, nice dodge from the Chromie right there, avoiding 2 abilities.
The beacon has been under control of Team Elusive for a little while now on the bottom side, but we got Johanna coming in and posture and trying to make an attempt to steal some of this percentage for this push that's going to come when these beacons activate. And it looks like they got control of the top beacon a little bit there, so we're at 28 to 48% right now. Elusive Gaming's really, really showing that they're going to play a lot stronger in this matchup.
Dahaka needing to be a little more careful. Took a bit of damage right there from the Muradin. Sonya posturing, waiting for him to come in. That was kind of dicey out of him.
Yeah, I don't know what the game plan is for Team right now. It seems like they're just kind of content to sit around and hold one shrine and not worry too much about, or one beacon and not worry too much about getting control of both.
We do see Falstad fly, and the warp rift from Probius comes out. They're trying to get that cannon down. It's got one hit left on it.
And this is where Probius can feel pretty oppressive when he has 3 members around him backing him up while he's just clearing out the waves.
Ooh, nice stun from Johanna right there. Leads to some extra damage. Bird guy having to go back. I just forgot his name.
Duke of Psych Falstad.
Falstad. I can't believe I forgot Falstad. As much as I play this game, I couldn't remember Bird. We're just going to call him Bird guy the rest of the night. Don't question it. We'll just roll with it.
Old Birdo.
So, Bird guy getting a nice hammering off onto Rhaegar right there, but Skeptic
But he's
coming
taking
in.
so much damage.
A lot of damage. Nice time trap, but we do. Sonya does go down top in the midst of all that. Elusive just looking really strong right here, right now. They're doing a great job of just countering the pressure that Team is trying to bring to them.
And I don't know that they can interrupt the rest of this beacon, not with the positioning that they've been in lately.
Duke,
and
Aside
Falstad just goes down.
Nice charge and slow from the Varian right there. And yeah, I can't see them stopping this anymore. Johanna has to back off.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like about Johanna going up there, because ultimately he didn't do a lot just standing there for a second. All he did was delay what was going to happen anyway. She probably should have been down there trying to assist that Falstad.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. We got Sonya and Dahaka going at it at top once again. Dahaka popping his trade, trying to keep that sustain up, and didn't work out for him last time, but it's going to work out this time. Sonya misses a spear. That means she's going to have to back off, and Elusive Gaming is going to get this wave. However, 8 has been hit. Let's see what talent Chromie with. She did go with Temporal Loop. So she is probably going to be gunning for that Gul'dan to get all that extra damage off.
Yeah, if you can take out the Gul'dan, it's going to help. It's going to go a long way for defending
And we see it go off
holding
right now. Here
points.
comes the combo. Can he... And just a Sandblast to follow up.
Oh, and the time trap saves him from the other Sandblast. So Gul'dan's still looking pretty healthy. Not a good attempt by Chromie there.
Yeah, and we see Elusive Gaming still just pushing very hard. This Zerg wave still very, very healthy at this point. A couple of Ultras, a lot of Hydras coming in, some Terrans backing them up as well. Where did this alliance come from?
And this wave is still so healthy. They're definitely going to get these walls and towers here.
Yeah, we see Tens come out. We see Horrified come out. We see Adaptation, Taunt, Ancestral, and Probius is sitting on his. I'd love to see an Old Gate. I said from the beginning, that was a superior talent. And we see Pylon Overcharge, of course. I am sad.
Yeah, the problem is Nullgate is amazing, but he just gets too much damage from Pylon Overcharge to pass on.
And this is a great place for Pylon Overcharge, if I'm honest.
Yeah. So we see both teams just electing to take the camps here, kind of try to reset. I'm sure Team wants to try and get themselves back into this game by soaking all the minion experience they possibly can.
We see Sonya and Dahaka going at it once again, just the classic 1v1 right there. But we see a really heavy push coming out of the side of Elusive Gaming, showing themselves to be much stronger this game than what they were showing themselves to be last game.
A little bit of a questionable gust there from Falstad. It did displace the Dahaka there for a moment, but you probably should have figured you didn't have enough damage to get the job done.
Yeah. But we see they're leaving that Raven alive, and that Raven does actually do a lot of damage.
Ooh. They tried to stop the invade, and Sonya got stuffed by Dahaka and Varian up there.
And apparently we're supposed to remember Cleveland is Believeland. That's apparently a meme I'm not understanding fully. Oh, we see a Dragon of Stukov gets pulled back. He's gonna go down. Taunted, and he's dead. The Zerg General just getting popped like a Baneling.
Yeah, Elusive Gaming really is playing with fire this game. I don't think they liked taking that loss in the first one, so we're seeing them play with a lot of poise right now.
No, nobody from Cleveland likes to hold an L. And these siege camps are going to put in a lot of work. Sonya already headed towards the bottom camp to take that, make life a little more difficult for Elusive Gaming, but Aranor is just like, you made me look stupid last game. I'm going to make you pay for this one.
And once again, we're seeing the effect of Gul'dan, just his ability to throw out fell flames constantly, and it just means structures most of the time.
Yeah, nice stun out from everybody. Taunt onto the Sonya, gets this Ancestral. Sonya leaps ahead, grabs, spins to win on a few, but Probius, this is probably a very dead Probius right now. Unless something, nope, that's definitely not what you want to see happen to your Probius.
Yeah.
Coming in, there's a nice fall flame onto the Falstad, gets a kill. Sonya, Chromie, I'm sorry, loops the Varian, no damage to follow up. Kunkis goes down on the Johanna. Sonya still trying to make something happen, but nothing but death for her. Nice shove into Aranor right there. Gul'dan, jeez, just all this good abilities.
And they did that all without Dahaka. Dahaka went and got camps while that was all going on.
I'll say it right now. Oh, baby, a triple! All right, so there we see them taking.
We got the memes out of the way.
Yeah, got to get the memes out of the way. Memes
yeah, that's important. Just the play right here. I mean, you've got complete control of the map. You got a giant wave pressing down on them. Put the boss in there, force the issue. You probably can end here.
And let's note that Probius is also taking the Firebat camp as well as they grab this Odin boss. And this is going to get nasty.
Yeah, that is a very, very big threat coming up top between a boss and the fire minions and the giant Zerg wave at 100%. I don't know how do you defend this if you're team.
I'm not sure myself. I'm pretty confident this is going to be a keep because everybody's heroics are off cooldown right now, and they kind of favor Elusive Gaming at the moment. Some Dragon's Breath coming out from Chromie right there, throwing the Angry Sand. Sonya gets dragged. It still goes down to the boss. Gus coming in just a little bit late, in my opinion. I like Men getting time trapped or time looped, but doesn't follow it up, unfortunately. And I like Men just staying around those beefy bodies to protect them. Really
Meanwhile, with the split push, Probius just cleaned up the other keeps, so we're going to see them march on core here and probably try to end, because that is one healthy boss.
Yeah, there's nothing they can really do to stop it at this point. This boss, a nice shove all the way back to the keep right there from Dragon Fury. We're going to see us a Game 3, buddy.
First time for everything.
Yay! Game 3, Cleveland is Believeland.
I don't even understand.
I don't understand it either. I'm just rolling with it.
Yeah.
So, that was a very, very entertaining game coming out of Elusive Gaming, firing back in a big way right there. The Gul'dan just put in so much work. Didn't out-damage the Chromie, but Chromie wasn't really able to capitalize on her time loops at all.
I think the story there was definitely the Probius. The Probius was everywhere, causing havoc. Once Probius rotated to the bottom lane, Elusive Gaming never looked back.
Yeah, pretty much. So that was just really strong gameplay right there overall. I mean, I was kind of worried about Elusive Gaming after game one. They kind of got clowned on a little bit by team right there, but fired back in a big way just now, and I'm happy.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good when you get a competitive series to watch, and that's what this has been so far. So hopefully we get a real close game 3 and not a one-sided affair like the first two.
God, I hope they don't play on Garden.
Garden of Terror.
No.
I don't think anybody wants to play there.
I think you're right. I don't think anybody who plays Heroes likes Garden of Terror at all. Period.
I used to not hate it as much as everybody else, but now I do. It's a mess.
Yes, it is. It's a terrible, horrible mess, and it just makes you question your soul.
So we're just waiting for the other teams to get set up.
I think I left the right channels. Yes, I did. So, and after this game, we'll have a short break, and we'll be following it up with. Let's see here, another team we've streamed in the past. Snitches Get Stitches, just to troll Charlie's ability to say that.
Snitches Get Stitches.
And then they'll be playing against the Try Hard Titans.
Should be pretty interesting. We'll have to.
I like that team name, and we're getting our lobby invite now. I'll get you in here, good buddy.
There we go.
I don't want to say this stream is brought to you by Beyond the Summit, because that wouldn't be right, but I got my sweet Beyond the Summit chair. I like this chair.
Yeah, it's a pretty great chair. And it looks like we are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen, to no one's surprise.
No, of course not. Why would there be a surprise? Everybody likes Tomb of the Spider Queen. I actually do like Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's a fun map.
No, it's a great map. I'm just being a whiny caster because I keep seeing the same maps. But people play on the good maps because they're balanced.
Yeah. And Tomb is actually an incredibly balanced map. It really does come down to your draft.
Mm-hmm.
I see Elusive Gaming has... Were they on a different portrait last week? I'll have to go back and look.
They were on the Tassadars.
They were on the Tassadars, and now they're on the Novas.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate good portrait coordination.
Yeah, they seem to favor StarCraft characters with their portrait grabs, so...
Well, the most elusive characters are StarCraft characters.
It's true.
Nova, Zeratul, Tassadar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we are. So, now's the time we're going to see a Sylvanas ban.
Yeah, more than likely. We gotta stop having these AFKers.
Hey, when you gotta go, buddy. You can't really argue against it.
I'm gonna go point my fan in my direction. It's starting to get a bit musty up here.
Right. Switch over to that real quick as we're waiting. Now I just gotta sit here and talk to myself. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you're doing fantastic. At some point I'll figure out what the Cleveland is Believeland thing is about.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back, good buddy. So, yeah, I was really impressed with how hard Elusive Gaming fired back that game. Like, you take a 3-level loss like that, and you get kind of, I don't want to say despondent, but you're like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, some of that depends on the attitude of the captain.
True.
Some teams bounce back from losses much better than others.
That's true. Okay, so it looks like everyone's ready. We're about to bounce into this draft. And, ooh. Switch it over to this. We'll update that score, and now we are ready to go. So, what bands would you like to see come out of this?
I think you hit the nail on the head. One of these teams has to ban Sylvanas. If you're Elusive, well, Sonya's a very good ban.
Yeah.
She's great on Tomb of the Spider Queen, so that's not a surprising ban. I don't know if you fear the Sylvanas so much that you have to ban at first pick, but if she's still on the board when the second bans come around, I think you gotta think about banning her. Sorry, got the hiccups.
That's fine. It happens. And she does. Sylvanas does fall off in the late game. I mean, she provides a lot of power early on, those early Web Weaver phases, by disabling them forts, them keeps. But after a while, other heroes start to outpace her pretty well.
Oh yeah, that's always been the issue. But Heroes is a game of getting the lead early, so she definitely has value on these maps with these giant kind of push mechanics like Tomb and Braxis.
Dragonshire as well. Finally, Gul'dan gets banned out. Both sides just going, yeah, no, we're not dealing with that. And again, just the instant pick for Varian right there.
Yeah, Team doesn't seem too concerned with trying to ban out Varian specifically. I think Gul'dan was a better ban anyways.
Yeah, it really was. And this is a great map for Gul'dan.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the response is out of Team. So I like that Elusive Gaming yelled at me about discussing the Varian before the game, and they've gotten it all 3 games now.
Yeah.
Why are you yelling at me, guys? Come on now.
Yeah.
So, Team taking their time, thinking about these 2 picks.
Yeah, they've definitely been patient with their picks. So, see, a Greymane and a Diablo, both really strong picks here.
Love it. That's good. That's good synergy right there. That's just gonna be wonderful. Diablo suplexes, shadow charges somebody into the team. Greymane follows up with a whole lot of damage. So that's beautiful. I love those 2 picks out of Team.
Yeah, you don't see enough Diablo these days. I feel he falls by the wayside too often when he's a really strong pick for a lot of team compositions. So
yeah,
it's always good to see the big red machine in action, or in this case, the weird alien mouthed primeval machine in action.
I'm just saying that should have been the a Nazebo. I like it.
It's an interesting pickup. Obviously, Nazebo is a late game warrior. And the Kel'Thas as well. So, if Xanarius is still with us in chat, be happy, friend, because you get to see Kel'Thas. Might not be Living Bomb, but you at least get to see your Kel'Thas.
Let's see. Is he still in chat? I'm gonna look. Yeah, he's still there. All right, let's see what the next ban. They're obviously going to ban a healer. That would be the safe route, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe they'll ban Raynor.
Well, they could be possibly thinking about the second tank that they're going to try to pair with Varian, and might want to ban that out instead, rather than trying to target one specific support and leave another good one on the board.
That is very true.
If I'm in their shoes right now, I'm thinking about banning Johanna. I'm thinking about banning Anubarak.
I'm thinking about banning Uther.
So there goes the Uther.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say Stukov.
But Uther is a very good ban here, simply because Uther Divine Shielding either Kalthas or Varian can be disastrous if you're about to kill them.
Yep, that gives Kael'thas just enough time to get another set of abilities off, which could probably lead to you dying.
Very true.
Or it gets them out of losing convection stacks, which is also just as disastrous for the other team.
And Elusive Gaming goes with the Stukov pick, or the Stukov ban, rather.
Now, see, I am in definite agreement with that ban because Stukov can just make life really annoying for the Kael'thas and the Zebo because max range lurking arms outrange Kael'thas' ability to throw out spells. So he's got to walk around or through it. And that's not fun.
Yeah. We get the Rhaegar pick. Rhaegar showing up in a lot more games these days.
Well, he's in a good spot, honestly.
Yeah, no, his heals are strong. Ancestral's always amazing. They've still got the team comp if they wanted to meme it up and go double support with a Bloodlust. This is looking like the comp for it, so we'll look out for that in their last pick.
If they're going Bloodlust, I'd like to see Vala.
The Greymane and the Leoric might be enough with a Bloodlust. You never know.
No, just personal feelings. I'd like to see an additional damage dealer, someone who can right-click very well to go along with that Bloodlust.
Yeah, problem is you give up so much of your healing potential in team fights with Bloodlust, so...
True.
I mean, obviously everybody gets the lifesteal, but it's on every individual player to maximize that and use that to heal themselves with only limited resource of healing being chain heal and possibly a healing totem.
Yeah, and we may end up seeing a solo tank variant here because you've got Curse Bullet, you've got the max HP damage coming out of Leoric. That's okay, they're going to go to double tank, and I like those last few picks. Karazium, Divine Palming some of these people is going to be very beneficial for some team fights, and Dahaka obviously just incredibly strong right here. I like this draft coming out of Elusive Gaming, but I feel like this is going to kind of hinge on Nazebo's ability to get stacks and get them spiders up and running.
Yeah, because Nazebo doesn't truly come online until around 13 or 16. 16 more so, but you start to see some of that power creep in around 13.
Yeah.
The positive is he's a great solo laner. He can sit in the solo lane and let the other four rotate around, so...
Yeah. And team taking their time thinking about this last pick.
I still have a feeling that they might go double support, but we'll have to see. Tassadar, yeah. So I'm almost 100% sure they're going to take Bloodlust here. Because Tassadar does both of those things. He fills the support role and brings the pain.
That's true. Tassadar is the best mage in the game right now.
The good old auto attack mage.
So, all right, we're going to get this Tomb of the Spider Queen match underway. This is the rubber match between Team and Elusive Gaming.
Everybody in chat, get hype.
Yeah.
Woo!
Post your kappas.
I want to see a stream of kappas. I encourage as many Twitch emotes as possible in our chat, by the way.
Yes. As long as you're not a wanker.
Only rules.
It's the only rule. Don't be a wanker.
If you are wondering what that entails,
Means
doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Don't be a wanker.
Yeah.
Anyways, on the blue side, we got Team. On Diablo, we have Snaginanis. And on Leoric, we have Kunkies. On Rhaegar, we have Raichu. On Greymane, we have Duke of Psych. And on Tassadar, we have Nayarina.
All right, and on the side of Elusive Gaming, Dead Fox Stan will be playing the Nazebo. I Like Men is on the Karazim. Skeptic is on the Angry Cloud. Kael'thas. Dragon Fury will be playing Dahaka, and Aranor once again on the variant. So let's see how these teams go.
Let's get going with Game 3. Our first Game 3 on Nexus Commentaries. Woo!
Yay! All right, so Dead Fox Dan kind of just running around taunting the Diablo. A little bit of B-stepping out of I Like Men. And Dead Fox Dan. I'm going to laugh if I Like Men actually TP's back. So we see the bugs come out onto the Diablo already as they try to go onto Rhaegar right there. Manages to get back, though. Lots of damage going down on Diablo, though.
The interesting thing here, though, is they have yet to break out. Okay, and we're seeing it now. Nazebo's going to go down and fight Leoric,
nice.
And Diablo goes down.
Diablo goes down with some B-steps from I Like Men once again. So these should be pretty easy spider stacks for the Nazebo right now. He's already sitting at 23.
Yeah, pairing him with Kael'thas early did do a lot for him. So, and Varian's got the Greymane in his sights with a ton of damage going on Greymane, but he's going to retreat behind the wall.
And we see Dragon Fury just doing Dahaka things and solo pushing in lane as Diablo rotates top to soak that experience. Raichu and Duke of Psych follow in kind, and it just looks like Elusive Gaming has a better grip on their rotational abilities right now. Nice stun from the Diablo to disengage that. I Like Men deciding he wants to punch demons in the face right now. So what did Duke of Psych go? He went Insight, and I appreciate that talent. He is going for that cooldown reduction on all of his abilities after that quest gets done. I love it. So every third basic attack restores 16 mana and grants a stack of insight. Get 100 stacks. Every third attack reduces your abilities by 1 second. So if he pairs that with the Deadly Reach talents, he's going to be doing a whole lot of damage. Ooh, Dragon Fury getting gone on right now. Pops his trait, pops everything else, and ends up popping himself. Nice little Sunstrike right there out of the Kael'thas. Sitting at 7 convection stacks right now.
And they were able to save the gems. Varian and Karazim working together to make sure those gems didn't go away forever.
Yeah, smart play out of them. So we're watching Dead Fox Dan and Leoric do their thing. And
Chat calling for a spawn of Harrison and Tomb.
oh, that's what that was about. I forgot he was in there. So
yeah, you can touch those wells, I believe, or something.
He pops out there at the end. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That. So Dragon Fury being pushed back to his wall. He's gonna go face check the bushes. This fight starts out on the bottom. Gets stunned by Diablo. Gets suplexed as well. Misses the drag onto the Tassadar and is now getting laser beamed in the back.
We're just seeing a lot of tight rotations right now. Team kind of got it together after a shaky start, and both teams are just playing very even right now, accomplishing the same thing. A lot of it comes down to who gets the advantage when they get the first turn in. If you can secure a kill or sneak turn-ins for gems and really force the action with that first wave, you can really get ahead onto them.
Yeah. And we see both teams going back to Varian getting put out of position in a big way, but the shield wall saves them, prevents all that extra damage. Like, man, coming in from the heel right there. As we see
sometimes
from the bottom beginning as Dead Fox Dan is about to start chucking spiders at everybody.
And Diablo's taking a lot of damage right now, but the plasma shield just lets him get out in time.
Oh, and Diablo's got to be sitting at 100 stacks right now because he just tapped the well. Now is a full heal, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the great thing about having all those souls.
Devil's Due OP Blizzard. Please. Don't change that talent. I remember Devil's Due used to make you get made fun of. People had
Yeah,
never
well,
changed
I
that.
just didn't like it personally because the numbers didn't used to pan out in the late game compared to how good it was to come back with 40 souls when you died.
That is true. However, we see that the blue team did get the first turn in, and we're going to see how this goes. Let's take a look at Kael'thas' stacks real quick.
Yeah, with Kael'thas and Nazebo, they do have a very good team for defending these web weavers, and they're probably going to utilize some of these talents that those heroes have in order to make sure that they don't take too much damage.
Tassadar hitting the jet booster right there.
Looks like most of the action's going to go top.
Ooh, Varian getting hit, but Tassadar ends up taking a lot of damage, has a flame bomb on himself. I don't know if this is going to pan out the way Team wants it to. Nice stun onto Varian right there. It looks like he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Could go down. Dragon Fury still in the midst of all this. That Web Weaver is about to blow up.
And Nazebo did a wonderful job of handling the web weaver bottom, not allowing Leoric to get much done other than the wall.
Now let's take a look at the quest on Nazebo. He's almost got that finish, sitting at 78 stacks. Same with Kael'thas. Varian about to die.
And he goes down. Diablo looking for blood on Dahaka there, but whiffs the grab after the charge. Very surprising.
So let's take a note right now that Kael'thas has finished his convection quest. So now he's got all that lovely damage.
Always good to finish before 10s.
Very much so. A nice stun on Diablo, pulling him back. Shield from Tassadar ends up helping him not lose any health. And we're looking at Diablo pushing that mid out. Kael'thas throwing the living bomb on him. Not really going to do a whole lot.
Team seems to really be prioritizing the gem turn-ins. They're showing one body out, and while that happens and they know the rotation's coming, they sneak in a few gem turn-ins. It's allowed them to keep a pretty steady lead on the gems.
Kael'thas in a lot of trouble. Gets put in the box, goes down. The Apocalypse comes out from Diablo. Gets a nice
the Ancestral.
Oh, the combo, the Shadow Charge into the Force Wall for that extra damage helps bring down Varian just now. This is very troublesome for Elusive Gaming, though.
The only bright side is none of their gem carriers really died. Obviously, the Nazebo has been sitting pretty bottom with 31, trying to continually push out bottom lane. But here we go. Rayman's rotating on.
Trouble. And but Nazebo throws up the corpses and gets out of there.
And Blue's getting a second web weaver, and once again, it looks like they're not in a very good position for the top one. And it'll be interesting to see if they go up and try to support it. And that looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They really want to get this top lane down so they can have control of the boss. It is the most important lane in Tomb of the Spider Queen. So
yeah, that's where your win condition is, essentially. And Team definitely focusing this, but Elusive Gaming coming up from behind and forcing nice force wall out of Tassadar right there. Diablo shadow charging a target. Leoric comes in, puts the box out. Nice block from the Tassadar to combo with that Entomb from the Leoric just now. But Elusive Gaming turns their attention to the Web Weaver, and the Web Weavers go down, and they didn't get a whole lot. Diablo gets dragged. Gonna go for a ride just now. Varian goes in, throws the taunt down. Apocalypse comes out, gets a suplex onto Kael'thas, but nobody's really dying just yet. Varian is getting pretty low just now, but during the midst of all that chaos, Nazebo just kind of wandered down and got a turn in.
Yeah, he was sitting on a lot of gems there, and he's going to have to really book it here to avoid this gank. And it looks like he's not going to get there in time.
Yeah, no, he is definitely dead. And Elusive Gaming comes in to try to follow up, but this probably isn't the best fight for them to take.
Well, they do have the Kalthus, and Kalthus does a lot of damage, fortunately. So they were able to blow up Leoric, and that makes things a lot easier when you don't have to deal with Captain Spooky throwing his prison and his soul suck around.
Captain Spooky, scary skeletons.
Yes, Big Daddy Spooks.
Big Daddy Spooks, I love it. So,
Diablo with the choke slam and the shadow charge. It's going to blow Karazim up as he gets trapped up against that force wall, but they also trade off the Tassadar, who had to stick his neck out to get that force wall up in time.
Yeah.
Raymane takes a lot of damage and barely gets out, and Zebo's right there with the spiders. Varian gets deleted in the team fight. Diablo's just all over the place, causing trouble.
And that's really what you want your Diablo to do, but the bigger problem is that these two lanes have been pushed in very hard. Top lane pushed in more so than anybody else.
Yeah, they've still got a healthy legion of minions there assaulting the top fort, and there's a good chance it could still go down. But Tassadar is going to get there in time to clean it up and put a shield on, so their forts will live.
But we do see that Elusive Gaming is sitting on 47 gems. They're going to have another turn-in available here very shortly, and that could be a really big problem on the side of Team.
Yeah, Team's going to try and race that turn-in. They're close as well, 53 out of 60, so it's going to be a big fight coming up. If I'm Dahak, I probably would turn in here, because, yeah, and that's exactly what he does. You don't want to risk that many gems.
Yeah, that is an awful lot of gems. Varian goes in with the taunt. Tassadar phase shifts away. Kael'thas almost going down. Probably should have taken extra damage to proc that shield off. Kunkies is going to go down. We see the spirit, angry spirits in everybody's faces.
And Elusive Gaming has taken a very key fight at a very important moment in this map, and let's see if they can push this momentum to really swing things in their favor so they got a dominant lead. It looked like that force wall was not very good. The APOC was either too early or the Ghost Prison was too late, and the force wall ended up trapping Diablo inside of the gate, leaving him isolated.
Force Dan right there, just B-stepping as Leoric was about to spawn. Gotta love B-steps. I love B-steps.
Oh yeah, Elusive Gaming has shown that they like to maim around. They will throw it in your face if they feel confident, and they have no problem.
Diablo in a big amount of trouble right now with 27 gems. They can't really afford to have him go down. Kael'thas, and he is going to go down. He's just in the middle of some angry people. Varian's going on to the Leoric just now. Nice cocktail coming out of the Greymane right there. Hit everybody, but that's not the issue at hand. What I'm worried about now is that top lane. That top lane's getting pushed in pretty hard at the moment. So that top web weaver not going to get a whole lot of value.
Yeah, that's fair, but I think we come out of this phase with Team not having any forts left with the amount of pressure.
Jeez, that was so much damage. Dead Fox Dan gets put in a box by the Leoric, but Leoric's like, hey, here, hold these spiders, bud. And chases them off. This is a huge problem for Team right now. Is the stun lands on Leoric, not exactly the person you want to go in on, but Diablo's just in a whole lot of trouble. The angry spirit coming out of the Zebo just now as the apocalypse drops, and they're just gonna pretty much get this front wall and back off. It looks like they're gonna rotate bottom. Nazebo getting a lot of work done right now. Fourth wall comes out of Tassadar as this Webweaver continues to push in. And I'd like to know, we have 8 minutes until we're supposed to be casting our next game.
Yeah. With the triple games, you're gonna cut it close when you only give yourself 2 hours.
Okay, so the biggest surprise I have right now is that Webweaver actually managed to reach the other side of the map. But we see a long protracted siege coming onto this bottom keep just now. Phoenix comes out. We see Nazebo throwing the toads out, and they do get that bottom keep. So good for them. Good good decision making right there. I think they're going to go for this aggressive camp on Team's side and going to get it pretty easily. There's nothing Team can really do about this.
Yeah, they were still responding to the pressure. They were split. They couldn't go check for an invade because it would have likely just resulted in someone dying. You just have to give up the fort and clear the minions and move on.
Yeah, definitely. So we do see the 16s coming out of the side of Team, but the last thing you want to see is another turn in. But thankfully, they're still far away from this turn in.
Yeah, Varian just dumping off some gems here. Team obviously sitting on 86. They just have to find a way. This is the struggle with Tomb of the Spider Queen. Once you lose all 3 forts, it's very hard to keep control of the turn-in points. You're pushed so far back, you've got to respond to pressure further back, so you can't really stick your neck out trying to turn in as easily as you can when your forts are up.
A great amount of caution coming out on the side of Elusive Gaming just now. They're all playing back behind their side of the map. However, I think, that was probably a smart move out of the Rhaegar. I don't think he had enough time before anyone touched him.
Yeah, you don't want your support to get caught out too close, risking a turn in.
So we do see another turn in on the side of. There's some more gems going in on the side of Elusive Gaming, like inching their way closer to that 60 turn in, which could potentially lead to a double keep.
And it looks like they're positioning to make a boss play here. Dahaka brush stalkered up.
Yeah.
They've disappeared off the map, and now they're going to bait the bot? Nope, they are just going to take it because they showed bottom.
I mean, really, that's a smart move on their part. They're going to give up the turn in, but they're going to end up getting the what's the word? The boss instead, which does actually open it up. We're going to see a team fight come out mid. There's no way this isn't going to be a team fight.
It looks like Elusive's going to back off. If they're just going to back off and try to clear pressure, then this boss isn't going to get a lot done for him.
Yeah,
but they're playing very safe. This is a very, very cautious point of this map. No one has their 20s yet. You don't have complete control. You know your forts are hit, and a bad team fight could basically give Team the amount of pressure they would need.
Break out in the mid of the box comes out from the Leoric, going on to it ends up trapping the Diablo. Nazeebo does die, but there are so many low. Sastral comes out onto Kunkel's right there. He goes down. Leoric is now dead. A great turnaround from the side of a stun on Diablo. Here we go. Could he go down? Where's the Varian at? He's not dead just yet. Nice stun onto the Varian right there to save get himself out of trouble. But Varian is gonna have his charge back up here in just a second. He's gonna go down. Diablo is now dead, losing all those souls. Big problem. But that boss did take the top keep. And that is a big problem for Team right now. Like,
yeah, the only bright side is you got the top lane pushed out. So the objective here is to try and get 20, take a team fight, and hopefully push boss when it comes up in about 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
But
it's a tall order.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with you. The top lane is going to push out naturally now from now on because they do have catapults coming down that lane.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
So, I mean, I can't really call that a win.
Definitely not a win, just a small bright spot. A little shimmer of hope when you're down talents and you only got 1 keep left.
And now the big problem begins. If I were Team, I would like to see them rotate to that top lane and push that out as hard as they can. I don't think the best play is pushing down mid.
No, but the Merc camps were there, and the rotation wasn't going to be in time, so they just elected to take the Merc camps, which are getting burned up right now.
Well, and they are going to have to focus the bottom weavers at least, as that's going to push out before the top web weavers. And this is just going to be so many catapults following up on the top lane. So we see the force wall come out from as they were focusing down this well. Flame blasts coming out from the Kael'thas. Phoenix coming out as well. Zombies everywhere. It must be like Armageddon on the side of Team at the moment.
Yeah, Team really just trying to stay in this, but things are not looking good. You got web weavers coming from all three directions.
Such a long range drag from the Dahaka. I think. Oh, Diablo gets taunted from the variant. Ancestral comes out onto him, stays alive. Stasis from the Dahaka. It looks like this Leoric's going to die again, and I think this is going to be GG just in time. Well played to Elusive Gaming as they pull that game off. That was you asked for a nice close game 3, and we got just that.
Yeah, no, it looked like Elusive. It was in control the whole time, but they did that because they were playing very smart. I didn't expect them to play with so much patience. They strike me as the kind of team that likes to really step on the throat of the other players. So to see them play with that much patience was pretty cool. They did a good job of just holding on to that lead and not risking anything, and that's what you do when you got 3 forts down in a 1-level lead.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna take a quick break, like a minute tops, as we get ready for our next set, which will be Snitches Get Stitches versus Team Tryhards, or Tryhard Titans. So we'll be right back, everyone.
Horizon lights up in the palm of my hands. I reach out to grab the edge. Was it a reaction to the rainfall that made the lights reflect overhead?